appreciated.
Super duper.
But of course, really glad you're here with us. We're glad you're watching the Ting Open. And we're glad you're here for game number 3. In the top right of Lilac Crest, it's going to be Millennium's MarineLorD.
In the bottom right, as the purple Zerg, he's Liquid TLO.
So maybe there ends up being all-ins, and maybe this ends up, like, from one player to the other, and this ends up being a quick game. But on the off chance it doesn't, and with how we've seen TvZ play out with players like Beastie and Sort of, knowing what that late game looks like, I actually don't think Lilac would be a terrible map if they can split the map, if they get past 4 bases. But yeah. I definitely, like, we all know those feels until they fix the map, the ladder. The changes they're looking to make exclusively are to make these towers already knocked over, basically. So there's only one entrance to your base. This double entrance point is why it's so frustrating for a lot of players to play against Zerg, because it's very easy for them to actually get into the natural base.
Yeah. I'm really not that scared of this map for TvZ. Obviously, Zerg still has all these like nice pathways, and they're always going to enjoy that more than the Terran. But it's not as bad as Field versus Protoss. That said, like Terrans, the reason, another reason that the Terrans don't mind it so much is that they're changing their standard builds to fit the map more. So a lot more 2-base pushes, tank drops, you know, tanks defensively in case they do try and abuse the double ramps, that type of stuff.
By the way, set guitars to kill in chat, just remarking the viewership for this is already pretty good. And I am just, thank you guys for tuning in. The European qualifier is always a lot of fun. Mondays always seem to be the best day for broadcasting, so those two things combined have definitely made for awesome potential casts. I know the first couple games we cast today were a little bit, whatever, but as Zombie stated, if you haven't seen the brackets, guys, seriously, like, top to bottom, everyone in the winner's match still playing, like, these are all going to be good matchups going forward. No question about it.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I guess, as we said before, maybe everyone just wants to watch StarCraft on their first day back to work. I won't even know it's a Monday unless my parents weren't at home right now. Like, casting every day.
That caster lifestyle. I know, I've lost a little bit sense of time, too. Sunday felt like 3 different days, to be honest.
Right? Especially all, like, the mini naps you gotta take during our tougher days this past week.
Oh my god, the mini nap.
The mini nap?
We need to fix the mini nap.
Oh, it's so cute. I wish it was a mini nap. You just click on it and it's like,
fall asleep. The end.
It'd be perfect. I mean, not for StarCraft, but
no.
You don't know.
But okay, so TLO does thwart off the Reaper for the time being. MarineLorD takes his natural base on location, so he's not playing scared. Again, it's not about worried about a bailing all in or something early like this, but there are some Zerg players who like to gamble, and they'll just go for fast pools and fast speed and try and knock your expansion down at the peg. But
yeah, for sure.
I like that, actually. The small little pull out of TLO that is worth noting is what made MarineLorD dive through the mineral line. And he's hoping to catch that Reaper in place with the drones. That's kind of cool to see.
Yep. Well, it looks like it's going to be another Widowmine drop, which kind of killed him last game, actually, because it went across the field and didn't do anything at all.
Yeah.
The Overlord's being taken care of. Lings are probably going to get us around in the Reaper, but also scouts the front, see if that tells him anything in regards to what the situation looks like. Because I'm not sure what that Overlord got, and I'll break my grass for that. The Overlord got nothing. Nada. 0 scouting.
Okay. So, for MarineLorD, you mentioned, like, the same opening could be dangerous, and I'm definitely inclined to agree. I mean, you've got the harder to wall off location, you've got a bunker that's not covered, but that's banking on TLO all-in you twice. I think if you're playing against a player like, say, Bly, yeah, you play scared versus that. You play against somebody like TLO, I can't say that he would never would, but he's less likely, I'd say, to all-in you twice back-to-back like that.
Especially a Baneling all-in, which is really fun out of favor, you know, because Roach Ravager always just seems like it does so much better. And he is going into Roaches this game, which I think is just, like Arena.
It might just be the 3.
Mutilating Bling. Oh, that's true. But Mutilating Bling just doesn't seem to do so well on this map. Immediately target downs that Widowmine. Yeah. Really nice play by TLO there.
Of course, let's not forget, MarineLorD in that first game, on top of everything he did, whatever, for damage, he was also picking off Overlords all over the place, so that's something TLO's going to feel a little wary of. But just mentioning the roaches again, for those who don't know what we're referring to, you get 3 roaches typically because you want to make 3 ravagers. Ooh. And those 3 ravagers can deal with the liberators. You need exactly 3 liberators, or sorry, ravager corrosive biles to kill a liberator. But it is a nidus worm. Now this is Lilac Crest. Every time we're here, I talk about this and it never happens. And everyone, I'm sure, is just like, Rifkin's such an asshole. He has no idea what he's talking about. But nidus worms work pretty damn good here. We've seen them a few times, and when they do happen, they tend to work out really freaking well.
So we've been seeing a lot of two-base Nidus worms for whatever reason. Like we just saw Soki versus Alive a couple of days ago, I think for Lima League. And it just isn't as powerful as what we are more used to seeing, which was the 3-base one. Now, seeing no drone to the 3rd base can be a little suspicious right now. Seeing the roaches pop out is also something that tells him, like, okay, maybe I should be wary. And I think he sees it. He's pulling the SCVs. He's on top of it.
Tank's in a good spot for this, too. That Nidus Worm does come out, but the Queen's got to get those transfuses. Liberator getting some good shots. Second Liberator comes out. Everything that comes out of this Nidus Worm is going to die, but the tank fire actually kills a lot of SCVs. It doesn't track. It shows 7 killed by TLO, but there's probably more like 13 or so lost because... actually, that number doesn't count for it. So it only shows 6 workers killed. 9 were lost because of the tank fire, friendly firing.
Yeah, but that still went much worse for TLO. Like, on 3 bases... Okay, well, the second Nidus Worm, never mind.
Huh.
Yeah, it's like, on 3 bases, he might be able to macro out, but it would be difficult. But going for the second Nidus Worm really just says, like, I want to try and end this game.
I mean, I guess he did stick some of the Ravagers back in, I believe. No, actually, I guess those all get picked off. Excuse me. So, as the roaches pop out on this front line, it's a wide open area. You can certainly walk around the Liberator. Getting in range of that tank, it's gonna be difficult, maybe even impossible. But the Lings, once more, putting them in the mineral line. It's not even just about their damage. It's the potential friendly fire. Queens come out. Ravager Corrosive Bile would take out a tank if it wasn't busy focusing on this Liberator.
Yeah, it'll eventually take out that Liberator. It is a tough job. It's the only Ravager on the field right now. He's getting, like, he has more maneuverability. He's trying to micro with, roaches here. There's
no roach speed, though, so it's actually making this quite awkward to launch.
I mean, even if they did have roach speed, just you're microing against this tank that is at, like, really good range. The Marine count is pretty good. I think Stim finished up too. Yeah, it did. So everything has just gone, gone really badly for TLO. And that second Nidus Worm was quite a hefty second investment that will also reduce his chances of macroing out of this.
Yeah. The Nidus Worm itself is just very expensive, but he's going to make some more Ravagers. He continues to try and shut down this 3rd. TLO doesn't have any tech going for him, and MarineLorD is about to come up on 1-1. Combat Shield's still not done just yet, but MarineLorD looking better off for a lot of different reasons.
I forget who it was. Oh, okay, I was wondering if you meant to do that. I forget who it was who was going for Roach Baneling? Do you remember?
No, not off the top of my head.
So we were casting a game, it might have been the Korean qualifiers or Lima League or something like that, where it was Roach Baneling, or Roach Ravager Baneling more specifically, sorry, because Roach Baneling we're used to, right? Like it's an all-in, you get 1 punch and that's it. But the Ravager Baneling had a really interesting, almost like Ravager Infestor dynamic, where like they should be able to win the fight, but they never want to stim in because that's what you do against Ravagers when they're alone. But if Banelings are covering them, then you run into Banelings. And we saw the Terran, I think it was Bomber, actually, just consistently like push you with a bigger force, get hit by Banelings, and then, get pushed back, even though he was still winning the game.
It was the side bet race where I know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's what it is.
It was Bomber just taking clumps. Because I remember sitting there exclaiming, like, it's Bomber, why isn't he splitting?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm throwing it out there because just like Roach Ravager and Fester, it can buy you a lot of time, and it's not going to win you the game, probably, but time would help.
Very important not to lose these Ravagers. These are actually very, very precious units to him right now. He's going for Ravager and Fester. I actually kind of like this choice for this sort of situation. Like, this is a typical go-to for a lot of players, but when you're in a situation where you're not really going to have tech advantage, when you know you're going to be behind in upgrades, that's where this sort of combination of spell works. Like, we all know how fungal growth works, fine, but the Ravager Corrosive Bile, that's also spell damage. It's 60 that pierces through armor upgrades, weapon upgrades. If they can't reach, don't matter. They can sit back from afar and just hit those fungal units.
Yeah, this is the other composition, the more standard one, if you can get there, that will buy you a lot of time and maybe get you that really crucial engagement when they run into the fungal. Now I said it, if you can get there because you could be waiting for pathogen glands. TLO did not. He just got the infestors and is hoping that they'll have enough energy by the time the
They
push comes.
should. They've almost got it right now, actually. But it's still only gonna be like one fungal apiece, so he has to make sure he actually hits them. Now, hitting the
Oh,
Marines
super
in this
good.
situation is good.
Oh,
Ghost of Battle's coming down in the medevacs. Oh, no, they go for the Marines instead. Perhaps a little bit greedy out of TLO. Did use up his fungals. Drop on this side, getting cleaned up by the Queens. That's a lot of Queens. Evolution Chambers are going to fall. Not that he needs those upgrades. Again, he's going to rely a lot more on spell damage and attacks, but without those additional fungals...
Oh, those are Queens. Never mind.
I mean, it's still a flank. It's just the slowest
It's yeah,
flank.
it is. Yeah, like the upgrade's about to finish here.
Oh, here we
actually.
go. The surround
Here we
looks
go.
sick. The tanks are going to get picked up best they can, but even then, the Ravagers focus firing them with some auto attacks. TLO takes a very surprisingly good engagement. The Marines not being microed eat some of those corrosive biles, but now it's starting to get that concave.
Not
that tank
bad.
comes in.
Not bad at all. Like even the infested Terran gets thrown down there because why not? The infestor does end up dying though.
That cost TLO a lot of his queens and
Yeah.
his infestors, so a little unfortunate. This is bold as fuck. No way he's going to take a planetary here.
That is so like because he probably thought he's gonna have a much more solidified position. Like Infestor Roach will buy you a lot of time, but it won't really. It shouldn't. You think be able to push you out. But the surround really helped. TLO
Yeah.
had just enough Roaches and Ravagers to help out. I'm not sure he can actually push to win, especially with Tutsi about to finish up here for MarineLorD, but he's trying.
It's a
He's
little
not gonna
perhaps
push through.
over-dedicated.
Yeah,
This
looks like
does
it.
kill a lot of his very expensive army. If he had pulled back, if he had not actually pushed here, that may have been a lot better. But Roach is going to drive off that command center. TLO's going to fall back one more time. But GG.
GG.
That was